A very warm greetings to all my dear students. Hope all are healthy and doing creative work at your home. In our second part of the story of a village Palampur, we will be discussing how the same land can be used for more production. Earlier we have seen that land is fixed. Land cannot increase with increasing population. Population If population increases, the demands for goods also increases. So we cannot increase the land under cultivation because land is fixed. Land cannot act like a rubber. It will not increase as per our requirement. So we need to find out the different ways through which we can grow more from the same land. So how we can grow more from the same land? The most important technique of growing more from the same land is first one is multiple cropping. What do you mean by multiple cropping? Multiple cropping means growing more than one crop. Let me repeat, growing more than one crop on a piece of land during the particular year. What happens due to this multiple cropping? It increases yield on a given piece of land. During rainy season, kharif crops are grown such as jowar and bajra in the village Palampur. During October and December, potato is cultivated. During winter season, rabi crops are grown such as wheat, and a part of land is devoted to sugarcane which is harvested once in a year. So multiple crops can be grown from the same land and it will increase the agriculture productivity. Then what is the reason why farmers are able to grow different crops in a year at village Palampur? It was possible because of the fact that there is availability of electricity. All houses, all village houses are connected with electricity. It Electricity transformed the system of irrigations by using electric run tube wells. It was first installed by government and later farmers set up their private tube wells by mid 1970s. So electricity is helping them in providing better irrigation facilities for their field. Now another method through which we can grow more from the same land is modern farming. Modern farming methods like high yielding variety of seeds. Traditional seeds with low yield were transformed to high yielding variety of seeds. Chemical fertilizers and pesticides were used instead of natural manures. It was first used by Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh. Machines were used as tractors and threshers which made plowing easy. It was the gift of most important revolution that India has started between mid of 1960s. Most of the technical reforms has been seen in 1960s and in late 1970s. What is Green Revolution then? Green Revolution refers to a series of research, development and technology occurring between the 1940s and late 1970s that increased agriculture productions worldwide. It involves the development of high yielding variety of seeds, especially cereals grains, expansion of irrigation infrastructure, modernization of techniques, distribution of hybridized seeds, synthetic fertilizers and pesticides to farmer. However, it required plenty of water and chemicals for best results. We have seen that under green revolutions we have focused more on use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Ultimately, we have got some positive effect of using these fertilizers, but there was also some harsh effects on land. Underwater quality of underwater has also contaminated. Fertilizers has destroyed the quality of foods that has been grown from the land. So in this way, can we say that land will sustain? No. The answer is big no, as green revolution is associated with loss of fertility due to increased use of chemicals. Every time we have to enhance the quantity of chemicals, fertilizers for increasing productivity. Depletion of groundwater due to tube wells, irrigations, excessive uh, use of tube wells has decreased the water level. Once environmental resources are destroyed, it takes years to restore them. So natural restoration process is not taking place, and ultimately it is decreasing the groundwater level. Then how land is distributed between farmers of village Palampur. In Palampur, one third, we have already seen this in our earlier discussion. In Palampur, one third of 450 families are landless, and remaining families have less than 2 hectares of land, while some medium and large farmers have more than 2 hectares of land. So we can say there are 3 types of farmers we can find out in the village Palampur. One is marginal farmers, another is middle farmer, third is big farmers, and fourth category is landless farmers. Landless farmer means those farmers who don't have any amount of land with them. They are totally dependent on others like marginal farmers, small farmers, and large farmers for their work. Marginal farmers are those farmers whose agriculture land up to 1 hectare, that is 2.5 acres. Small farmers agriculture land is more than 1 hectare and up to 2 hectares, that is up to 5 acres of land. Middle farmer agricultural land of more than 2 hectares, that is more than 5 acres of land, and big farmers are having more than 10 hectares of land. Now we have seen that there are different type of farmers in the village Palampur, then who will provide labor. Another very important factors of productions we were discussing till now about land. Now we will be discussing our second most important factor of production, that is labor. So who will provide labor? Small farmers, they cultivate their fields along with their families and provide labor themselves. Medium and large farmers, they hire farm laborers to work on their field, especially they hire landless farmers for their agriculture field. Farm laborers come from landless families or families cultivating small plots of land. Wages are paid in cash or in any kind as crops. Means wages will be paid in terms of cash or in any kind like crops, vegetables, food, etc. Wages vary from region to region, crops to crop, and from one farm activity to another. Harvesting will have different kind of wages, sowing will have different kind of wage rates. They can be employed on a daily basis or for one particular farm activities. The job will be provided on the basis of daily basis. Daily wages will be provided, or they may be hired for a particular farm activities like for harvesting and for sowing of seeds. Sometimes they work on low wages because of their illiteracy or unable to pay loan. It happens especially to small farmers and landless farmers that apart from their uh, requirement for their food, etc., they also need money for different activities like celebration of festivals, marriages, in case of uh, diseases, etc. So they require money, and during this period means in order to get money for fulfilling their different kind of need apart from getting food materials, they usually go for loan, and that loans is provided them with high rate of interest. So third important factors of production, that is capital, uh, we'll be discussing now. Most small farmers have to borrow money from money lenders and large farmers, and from traders who supply various inputs for cultivation. The rate of interest obviously is very high. Normally it is charged 5% per month. Can you calculate in terms of yearly interest rate? It comes around 60%. Means if one person has taken 100 rupees, they have to pay at the end of the year 160 rupees. Small farmers, the medium and large farmers have their own savings from farming. They save money by the sale of surplus farm products. Actually, where they save from, small farmers, large farmers, and medium farmers grow more than what they require for their sustainability. So, the surplus means apart from their requirement, what other amount of productivity that they are having, that is considered as surplus. So, this surplus farm product they sell in the market and get some amount of money that they keep as savings. So where they sell their surplus farm products. When harvesting is completed, a part of wheat is kept for families' consumptions, and surplus means extra is sold to traders in market, and they sell them further to shopkeepers in town and cities. But this happens with medium and large families only, as small farmers have little surplus wheat, and where they sell these farm products to, they sell these farm products to Raiganj and Sahpur or any other nearby villages. So that was all about today's discussion. In our next discussion, we will be talking about non-farm activities in the village Palampur. Thank you and have a nice day.